Hello and welcome to another episode of Disney Movie Investigation. If this is your first time watching, welcome to the show. In each episode, we take a look at a movie that is featured on Disney+. On this episode, we're taking a look at a 90s favorite as we take a look at Speed, starring Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock. And if you are enjoying these episodes, I do ask that you please hit that subscribe button. That way you'll be notified with each new video. Now, sit back and enjoy this episode of Disney Movie Investigation. So like I said, today we are covering Speed. This movie was released on June 7th, 1994. It was directed by Jan de Bont, and it was written by Graham Yost. The production companies were the Mark Gordon Company and 20th Century Fox, and it was distributed as well by 20th Century Fox. The budget for this movie was $37 million, and it did a box office return of $350.4 million. But let's take a look at the backstory. So screenwriter Graham Yost was inspired to write the film after he had saw the 1985 movie Runaway Train. He initially wrote the screenplay with the bus only going above 20 miles per hour, but a friend actually wisely suggested that he needed to increase the speed to make it more exciting. The film's design was inspired by the 1976 film Silver Streak, and the original title of the movie was going to be Minimum Speed, but 20th Century Fox decided that to rename it to just Speed because they didn't want to have a negative connotation towards the word minimum. The original story was entirely set on the bus, with locations including Dodger Stadium and the bus running through the Hollywood sign. It was presented to Paramount Pictures, hoping that it would be directed by Die Hard director John McTiernan. McTiernan declined, though, saying it was too similar to Die Hard, but he did recommend Jan de Bont to be the director. Paramount would ultimately pass, but the film was then presented to 20th Century Fox. They said they would make the film, but the screenplay had to be rewritten to include scenes not taking place on the bus. So they brought in Joss Whedon to rework the dialogue and improve the script. In terms of some casting notes, when the movie was being considered by Paramount, Jeff Speakman was the actor that was going to take on the lead role. However, once the project was transferred over to Fox, Speakman dropped the project. Other actors that were considered or approached include Tom Hanks, Tom Cruise, Wesley Snipes, Woody Harrelson, and Stephen Baldwin and Richard Grieco were both offered the lead role, but they declined. The role of Annie was originally scripted to be an African-American paramedic, and that was offered to Halle Berry, but she declined as well. Other actresses considered for the Annie role included Ellen DeGeneres, Meryl Streep, Kim Basinger, and Anne Heche. In terms of filming of the movie was filmed between September 7, 1993 and December 23rd of 1993. The film would use 11 GM New Look buses and 3 Grumman 870 buses, and 2 of them were destroyed in explosions, while others were modified for filming, including cutting the bus in half for interior shots, as well as high-speed sequences and underneath the bus shots. The famous jump scene was filmed in one take, with the driver using a shock-absorbing harness to prevent injury. The shots that were on the freeway were filmed on California's Interstate 105 and 110. The final scenes were shot at the Mojave Airport and LACMTA Metro Red Line transit system. The helicopter that was used in the film, the MD-520, was actually sold to the Calgary Police Service, and they actually used it as a working helicopter from 1995 to 2006. In terms of the cast, so we have Keanu Reeves, who plays Jack Tavern, Dennis Hopper, who plays Howard Payne, Sandra Bullock, who plays Annie Porter, Joe Morton, who plays Herb McMahon, Jeff Daniels, who plays Harry Temple, Alan Ruck, who plays Doug Stevens, Glenn Plummer, who plays Maurice, and Beth Grant, who plays Helen. In terms of the plot, an explosive expert named Howard Payne attempts to extort money, threatening to kill some people trapped in a Los Angeles skyscraper elevator with explosives. The city is about to give in when rookie cops Jack Tavern stops him. Jack and his partner, Detective Harry Harry Temple, find Payne and corner him, but he blows himself up instead of surrendering. He is believed to be dead, but he actually has escaped and attempts to extort money from the city. This time he has placed a bomb on a bus that will arm itself once it reaches 50 miles per hour and will explode if it drops below that speed. Payne dares Jack to stop him and tells him the whereabouts of where the bus is, and it says that he will explode the bus or detonate the bomb if any passengers attempt to unload the passengers. Jack also attempts to stop the bus before the bomb is armed, but it is too late, and all he can do now is to keep it going. So in terms of the legacy of this movie actually won 3 Academy Awards for Best Sound, 2 Academy Awards for Best Film Sound and Best Sound Effects Editing. Because the movie was so popular, they did release a sequel called Speed 2 Cruise Control, and that was released on June 13th, 1997. And an episode of Mythbusters would cover the bus jumping sequence of the movie and prove that if it could actually be done or not. And then this movie has become part of pop culture, as several TV shows have parodied elements of the film, and several TV shows include The Simpsons, Father Ted, and Mandy. So in terms of recommending this movie, I love this movie. It's one that I can watch over and over again. I think it's a quintessential action movie. Definitely one that it has that high-paced action, but it has a great story to it. Great performances from Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock definitely put them both on the map. And I think Dennis Hopper did a really good job as the villain too. This one, it's one of those not feel good, but one of those movies that you can watch over and over again, and it's one that I go to often repeatedly. So definitely recommend this movie if you haven't seen it in a while. Definitely 2 thumbs up for me. So thank you so much for watching another episode of Disney Movie Investigation. I would invite anyone to please leave a comment below on what they think of the movie Speed. And as we look forward to our next episode, we are going to be exploring another 90s favorite, well, maybe not well known as Speed, but we'll definitely take a look at Bubble Boy. So until next time, I hope you have a magical day, and we will see you real soon.